Before we begin, I want to share a brief content note. This podcast discusses coercive control, emotional abuse, and parental alienation. There are no graphic details, but these topics can be heavy. Please take care of yourself while listening, and feel free to pause or step away at any time. Hi, and welcome back to After the Quiet. Sometimes growth doesn't feel like freedom. Sometimes it feels dangerous. Not because it is, but because someone else needs you to stay exactly where you are. Getting accepted into that university program should have been simple, joyful, straightforward. Instead, it became one of the most emotionally complicated moments of my life. When the acceptance came, I was ecstatic and honestly, shocked. I hadn't been sure it was even possible. I had completed a general bachelor's degree, no major. Applying felt like taking a chance, putting my name forward and hoping someone might see potential anyway. So when I was accepted, it felt like more than an offer. It felt like validation, like proof that maybe I wasn't as limited as I'd been taught to believe. And still, almost immediately, I began talking myself out of it. My parents were on vacation when I got the offer. They called from wherever they were, excited to hear my voice. I told them I had been accepted. And then I quickly added that I probably wouldn't go. It was too far, 3.5 hours away. I remember saying it out loud, as if I needed to convince myself first. My mother didn't argue with me. She didn't tell me I was wrong. She just said, "Accept it for now. We'll talk about it when we get back." In hindsight, I see what she was doing. She was buying me time. She was keeping the door open. He did not share my excitement. In fact, education itself was something he did not value. He hadn't completed high school, and he had found success in his industry. To him, that was proof that education wasn't necessary. He often reminded me that the women in his family hadn't gone on after high school. They were married. They had families. He said he didn't understand what I was trying to prove. The message was subtle but constant. Wanting more made me different, and different was dangerous. Then came his worries. What rumors would swirl if I went so far away? What would people think? What would they say? How could he trust who I was around? Who would I become? My education was framed not as an opportunity, but as a threat. I later found out that he had gone to my parents. He asked them to stop me from going, begged them. And the truth is, I wasn't shocked. By that point, I was used to him complaining about me to others. I had hoped my parents could talk some sense into him, that they could calm things down. Looking back now, I can see that my mother often became the peacemaker in my relationship. She tried to ease his fears while still allowing me to move forward. She framed my education as something that would benefit our future. It wasn't about me. It was about making it acceptable. That framing mattered. because it meant my dream didn't stand on its own. It needed justification. It needed approval. It needed conditions. I did go, but I carried guilt with me. Choosing my education felt selfish, uncomfortable, as though wanting something for myself required an apology. I had classes, assignments, a full academic workload, but the expectation was that I came home every weekend. So my weeks became compressed. I tried to finish everything before Friday, or I stayed up late on Sundays racing exhaustion. I remember falling asleep sitting upright at my desk, my body finally giving out. The travel itself was draining. Train rides, carpooling with classmates. It also put a strain on my dad, who would pick me up Friday night and bring me back Sunday evening, often dropping me off at a train station or along the highway so I could meet another ride. He rarely picked me up or dropped me off. It was just another thing I had to coordinate. Looking back now, I can see how controlled my life was and how willingly I complied, because I believed I had flaws, that I needed to be better, and that his resistance meant he cared, that he was teaching me how to be better. And still, something important happened that year. I went, even with conditions, even with guilt, even with exhaustion. I expanded my world just enough to change my future. I know now that if I'd never gone away for school, even under those constraints, my life would look completely different today. My career, my confidence, my sense of what was possible. The thing that got me through that entire year was one belief. This is going to be so good for our future. That sentence carried a lot of weight. It justified sacrifice. It softened control. It postponed reckoning. This is what it looks like when growth becomes a threat, when independence needs permission, when ambition must be explained, when you are allowed to move forward, but only if you stay tethered. If you're listening and recognizing this, the guilt, the exhaustion, the way your success felt like something you had to manage, please hear this. Wanting more was never the problem. Healthy love does not fear your education. It does not recruit others to contain you. And it does not make you earn your future by shrinking your present. In the next episode, I'll talk about what happens when life continues forward. Engagement, marriage, children, even though the pattern hasn't changed. Thank you for listening. Thank you for holding this story with care. If this episode stirred something, go gently. Your growth was never the threat. This is After the Quiet. If you need support, please reach out to someone you trust or a local support service. You are not weak for needing help. You are human. And if no one else has told you this today, your voice matters.